Good day everyone. Today, I'll be presenting Chapter 7, Learners in Other Marginalized Group. This chapter focuses on learners who are often left behind in education due to poverty, distance, conflict, or discrimination, and how school can help make learning more inclusive for all. What is marginalization? Marginalization means treating someone as less important or excluding them from opportunities that others enjoy. In education, it happens when some students are not given the same chance to study, participate, or succeed. For example, some children can go to school because their families can afford transportation or school supplies. So marginalization is not just being poor, it's about being left out of equal opportunity. To stop this chapter suggests 4 steps to make school more inclusive. First, set the context. Identify which students are being left behind and why. Example, teacher noticed that some children from mountain areas rarely attend class because of long walking distance. Second, share data with teachers. Teachers and school staff talk about what causes this problem. Example, a meeting reveals that some students skip school to work or take care of siblings. Third, talk with students. Let students share how they feel and what challenges they face. Example, a child explains she has no books or shoes for school. Fourth, work together for inclusion. Everyone helps create solution. Example, the school start a share a book project to help students who cannot afford materials. So there are types of marginalized children. First, child laborer or domestic workers. The first group is child laborer and domestic workers. According to the International Labor Organization, there are about 152 million child laborers around the world, and almost half of them do dangerous jobs. These children miss school because they work to help their families. For example, a 12-year-old boy might work in a factory instead of going to class. The goal is to make education free and accessible so that no child has to choose between work and learning. Second is the indigenous people, such as Atas or Lumads in the Philippines. They live in remote areas and most schools are far away. The lesson also don't always match their language or culture, so they find it hard to relate or understand. For instances, an Aita child may walk several kilometers just to attend a class taught in Filipino or English, not in their native tongue. Teachers should include indigenous culture and local language in lessons so these students feel respected and included. Another group includes abused or neglected children. Abuse can be physical, emotional, or even psychological. It affects how children think, feel, and behave. For example, a child who experiences abuse at home may become quiet, anxious, or afraid to talk in school. Teacher can help by being understanding, reporting abuse cases, and making the classroom a safe and caring space. The fourth group is refugee and displaced children, those who had to leave their homes because of war or danger. There are more than 21 million refugees in the world, and half of them are children. Many study in refugees camp with very few teachers and no proper classroom. For example, a Syrian child might attend class under a tent with limited books and no electricity. These children need emotional support and access to quality education even in crisis situations. The last group is children in conflict zone. They live in places affected by war and violence. Some lost their family, some are forced to fight, and many stop studying because schools are destroyed. As Ejulante Jeb once said, all wars are waged against the child. The government must protect these children and ensure that education continues even during conflict. Marginalization leads to many negative effects. such as high dropout rates, low academic performance, emotional problem, limited chance for a better future. But when school become inclusive, children feel accepted, confident, and motivated to learn. An exclusive school is one where every learner feels safe, respected, and supported. It provides equal opportunities for all, lessons that respect different cultures and language, counseling, and emotional support. For example, a school that offers free meals for poor students and use local languages in teaching show inclusion in action. To conclude, marginalization in education is a serious global issue, but it can be changed through understanding, compassion, and action. Every child, no matter who they are or where they came from, deserve the right to learn. As the saying goes, education is not a privilege. It is every child's right. Thank you for listening.